I have seen that in my day-to-day use, it never slows down. I could have 10 apps open, heavy intensive apps, and it's gonna just eat them like nothing. It works perfectly seamlessly. Is the Galaxy S8 worth getting in 2019? Let's find out. Now, the Galaxy S8 was first released in April 2017. So this phone is now 2 years old. Now in 2019, there's a lot of new phones, flagship phones, even cheap phones that are really good. So is it worth getting an old flagship, or is it worth getting a new cheap phone? Let's find out. Now, the Galaxy S8 is now my new favorite daily driver. My previous phone was the Galaxy Note 4. There's a video on my channel about it, check it out. Now this phone is a lot smaller than my old phone, and I like it. It's got a good design, it's got a good back on it, it's got a good feel to it. It feels premium, which I like. It's got a nice glossy feel, which I like a lot. Now, the way this phone's designed is that it's designed to fit in your pocket. It's very tall, and a lot of new phones are like that. But the fact that this 2-year-old phone, even today, still feels relevant is surprising. And so this phone, I've been using it mainly for watching content, calling, texting, maybe once in a while playing a few games, enjoying life a little bit. So it's a nice phone and it works very well. It's a very fast phone as well, so it never slows down or crashes, and that's mainly to do with the fact that Samsung have been pushing updates for this phone in the last few weeks of 2019 in June. So I've been surprised by that, and even now as I make this video, there's a new update coming up. So I'm surprised. Is it worth getting this 2-year-old phone? Now let's look at some of the benchmarks that can help us determine if this phone is still worth it in 2019. Now, the first benchmark I'm going to use is Geekbench 4. Now, Geekbench 4 is a program that looks at the speed of your phone, so the CPU and also the GPU. So looking at Geekbench 4, we can see that my phone surprisingly has a very high single and motor score. Now, maybe this might be due to the fact that it's updated, so the phone will run faster than it was before, so it will have above average scores in the speed area of it. So that's a plus. So the phone is alright. It beats the Galaxy Note 8, it beats the Galaxy S8 normally. But again, I will say this, it's most likely the fact of the updates. So this phone with the updates is really fast. Most phones that are 2 years old are not this fast. So looking at the single score, this phone really does kill it. Multi score, this phone is destroying it. And I have seen that in my day-to-day use, it never slows down. I could have 10 apps open, heavy intensive apps, and it's gonna just eat them like nothing. It works perfectly seamlessly. It's a very amazingly quick phone, and the updates make it even better. Now let's look at AnTuTu benchmark. Now this is a more well-rounded benchmarking too, because it's not looking at the CPU and GPU only. It's looking at the RAM, looking at the processing, looking at the memory, the storage, the cache. So this looks at every little factor, the 3D rendering. So AnTuTu is gonna help us compare apples to apples. It's gonna look at the phone as a whole. Now, is this phone worth it? Is it as fast? Is it the same as the latest flagships? The answer is no, it's not. So it had a very high CPU score, GPU score, but these scores on their own mean nothing when you relate them to the latest flagships. Now this is an old phone, so it won't have the latest Snapdragon 845 or a Kirin 980 chip, for example. It will have a much older system in this phone, which means that it's limited in terms of being well-rounded. So compare this to like the OnePlus 6, the OnePlus 7, or even the new Xiaomi phones on the LG ThinQ, it's nowhere near. My phone is ranked number 34 and it's 170,000. Now this is not too amazing, and we can see that the phones that are near it are the Oppo F11, and it's all the phones that are the recent budget phones. So my 2-year-old Samsung Galaxy S8 is about the same in terms of having specs as the most recent cheap light versions. This is the question that I want to answer today. Is it worth buying the Samsung Galaxy S8 instead of buying a newer cheap version of a phone? So for example, buying a Vivo V15 Pro, or buying a Mi 9 SE, or buying a Huawei P20. These are new phones that are pretty cheap, and they cost a little bit more than this Samsung Galaxy S8 right now. But is it worth getting an older flagship that's still getting updates? I would recommend get the Samsung. The body is beautiful. It's an all glass display on both sides, wireless charging. The issue with these new cheap phones is that they look amazing, but they sacrifice, for example, in wireless charging, in the IP certification, when it comes to the camera, when it comes to the display. So getting an older flagship eliminates all of these issues that you have. Yes, your phone is older, but if you get, for example, a Samsung continually keep bringing updates. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace.